In the previous video, we discussed how to prioritize things in life by assigning utility values to them. It is not something many of us are intuitively good at, but with practice, we can learn to eliminate a lot of unnecessary worry and stress from our lives. In this video, I would like to talk about another common problem that arises with such situations. In particular, when we would like to make a decision, we are looking at costs and benefits of each option, which is essentially looking at the utility of each option. Now, an important question is what factors we should take into account. It turns out this might be a little tricky. By now, you have probably figured out that many of the concepts in this course are aimed at helping us avoid mistakes. So I would like to talk about another important mistake that we normally make. Say you are driving from city A to city B. You take Route 2, which is the only one you are aware of, which takes 8 hours. However, 1 hour into your drive, you suddenly become aware of Route 1, which from A to B is only 5 hours. The rational thing to do would be to go back and start Route 1, because it would only take a total of 6 hours, whereas finishing Route 2 would take 7 hours. Nevertheless, when it comes to many similar decisions, many of us would just continue on Route 2 because we would feel we were losing progress if we backtracked and started over. This is an example of a flaw in our intuitive thinking and is related to the issue of loss aversion that we discussed before. Of course, this is a mistake. This thinking occurs a lot in our daily lives without us even realizing it. Suppose I am at a buffet and I am feeling a bit full, but there is still food I would consider to eat. I may argue that I have paid for the buffet, so I should take as much food as possible to get my money's worth. This is an example of the sunk cost fallacy. The money that I have paid for the buffet is already gone. I cannot get it back, so potentially making myself sick from eating too much because of my money is completely irrational here. The point to take away from both of these examples is that we should only focus on future costs, not ones that have already happened. I cannot get that driving time back in the first example, and I cannot get my money back in the second. So I must focus on the most rational thing to do next. For another example, suppose you have already purchased a $100 ticket for a concert. Then on the day of the concert, you feel sick and the weather is bad. You have two options. You can either go to the concert or not. You might argue that you have already spent $100, so you might as well go. But this is another example of the sunk cost fallacy. You cannot get your money back either way. So either you go and have a miserable time because you are sick, or you stay home and rest. Your $100 is gone either way. It is a sunk cost and should not affect your decision. All of these examples have been small, low-impact decisions. But what happens in the case of an important decision in life? The same thing is true. If you are in a bad relationship, career, etc., and simply stay because you don't want to have wasted all the years of trying, you are giving into the sunk cost fallacy once again. Those years, that effort, etc. is gone no matter what, so you should instead focus on the future. Maybe get out of the unhappy relationship, take steps to switch careers, etc. Many of the fallacies in our intuitive thinking require a lot of practice and diligence before they become our new instincts. But the sunk cost fallacy is very easy to identify in real life. Anytime you catch yourself thinking, I want to get my money's worth, or I spent so much time on it already, stop and realize that you can't get that time or money back. So you should focus on the future in that situation. Don't fall victim to the sunk cost fallacy or loss aversion. Accept what has already happened and move on from there. Thank you for watching.